Hey, what's going on? Thanks for watching this video. I want to walk you through a process that's going to allow you to add an extra 10 to 20K per month into your business in the next 45 days. And the reason why I'm making this video is because I see so many problems right now in the B2B space, specifically in the technology space. Almost every company is just following each other's lead. And the problem with that is that if you're not a big company, if you don't have millions and millions of dollars of investment, then you're not going to be able to compete with some of these big vendors and everyone else that's taking up the time and attention of your potential prospects. Okay, and what I'm about to share with you is nothing new. It's not like a new strategy or a new method or anything like that. I just want to try and bring some awareness to you and what you're missing out on, because there are some blue ocean opportunities out there which you can capitalize on right now and start making a profit. Or you can just continue relying on the things that you're already doing. That's probably keeping you in the same spot, when in the next 3 to 6 months you could be in a completely different space. Like your business could be thriving. You could have a consistent lead flow, and just never really have to worry about dealing with long sales cycles or worrying about people not buying from you again. Okay, so the old way of converting strangers into money, and this is probably some of the things that you're doing, and that is outbound prospecting. So specifically in this space is sending DMs on LinkedIn. Okay, whether you're doing it automatically or through automation or through VAs, it's very time intensive. The volume is low. I don't even, you could have like 20 salespeople and they're only going to be able to send like 100, 200 messages a day. It's in order for you to grow that, you have to invest more money into hiring more people. Okay, so it's ineffective, and the reason why it's ineffective as well is because outbound prospecting is kind of becoming like what cold calling is. No one really likes getting hit up by a cold message asking if they want something. I get them all the time on Facebook and LinkedIn. No doubt you also do. And so if you're just doing the same thing as what everyone else is doing, you're just adding more chaos into the market. The other one is emails. Now this can work, but again, it's just outbound prospecting. The volume of emails that you're going to be able to send is going to be super low compared to what you could be doing with what I'm about to share with you today. Okay, so those are, in terms of outbound prospecting, one of the old ways of converting strangers into money. Going to networking events, you're literally just sacrificing your time. If you're going to, trade shows or conferences or anything like that, pretty much everyone there is trying to sell something. So it's very rare that you're going to find people that you can actually sell something to, because they're there for the same reason as you. Okay, advertising is another one. This used to be good 2 or 3 years ago. It's still good now if you've got the money to invest, but the cost to advertise is going up. There's more competition here, and there's a lot of issues with like the algorithms and things like that. Okay, Facebook ads, Google ads, YouTube ads. I don't care what it is that you're doing right now. They can be profitable, but you have to keep spending money on this. The moment you stop spending money on ads, your leads and your sales are going to dry up. And then lastly, referrals. I see this all the time in the IT space. Almost everyone's relying on referrals. The problem with this is that if you lose customers, you're literally just waiting around for someone to refer you, and you're really hoping that your previous customers are going to be referring you. So it means you always have to deliver a good service. And the more you grow, you're probably going to have a lot of customers that might not have been so happy with you, and then they're going to give you a bad rep as well. Okay, so these are the old ways of converting strangers into money. And so the issues with this, or these acquisition models, is that they're just getting the quality is getting worse with time. So the people booking appointments with you through these methods, they're not sold on your product or your service yet. They don't know enough about you. So when you get them on a call, you're having to convince them to buy from you, which is not a position that you want to be in. Okay. There's also a lot of competition with these acquisition channels. Everyone's doing outbound prospecting on LinkedIn, even Facebook as well. Everyone's sending emails. You're just trying to get the attention. Like you're one email of 20 that your ideal prospect is receiving. Okay, same with networking events. You're one person out of 50 people that they speak to, right? You're not memorable at all. So there's a lot of competition. The acquisition channels are underperforming. If you're posting content on LinkedIn as an example, like go and look at your stats. How many people in your network actually see your content? Right? It's very little compared to how big your network is. They're underperforming because these platforms are cutting the amount of reach that you can achieve organically, because they want you to spend more money into advertising. And that means that eventually you're going to get priced out of the market if every business has to advertise in order to get customers. Another issue is the lack of trust and authority, okay, on these channels. So when you're outbound prospecting, when you're sending emails, right, the first thing anyone's going to do is look at your profile. They're going to search your social media accounts. And if you don't have anything there that helps build trust and authority, that demonstrates that you know what you're talking about and that you're a legitimate business that's been around for a long time, that's helped customers for decades, then you're just like everyone else, really. Okay, there's no way to separate you from your competitors. All right, the algorithms are kind of already touched on this. They're cutting the reach. All right, not only that, they're making it harder for you to advertise in some ways. okay, because everyone's targeting the same interests or the same search keywords. Okay, again, as there's more competition, the price is going to go up. The algorithms are affecting this. Okay, and then relying on proposals. So if you're sending out proposals, right, you're just hoping that people read the proposal and then understand what it is that you're offering. Now, I've even gone through strategies on a video call, on a Zoom call, and people still don't understand. So if you're just sending out text-based proposals, the likelihood of these people not understanding what you're actually delivering to them is very high. And there's no way for you to answer questions or anything like that unless they take the effort in asking those questions. Okay, or unless you follow up and specifically ask, hey, did you understand this or that? But then there's just more time involved for you. Okay, and so this creates a huge problem for IT companies specifically, right? You can't just rely on your customers making referrals for you anymore. All right, it doesn't happen as often as you think. And unless you have some kind of incentive there, it probably doesn't happen very often anyway for you, right? Ads work differently today than they did 3 years ago. A few years ago, if you clicked on an ad or if someone clicks on your ad, you'd get them to opt in and they'd probably book a call straight away. If you had some really good copywriting, really good material in there, people don't do this anymore, right? They're skeptical of ads. They've seen so much nonsense out there in the market that they're not going to do that. The first thing they're going to do is they click on an ad because they're like, skeptical about what you have to offer. And then they're going to do research on your business. Okay, it's going to take them a few days or a few weeks for them to call you back. Right? And if you don't have any infrastructure set up to retarget these people and get them back onto your website, you lose them forever anyway. And most IT companies don't have that infrastructure in place. Conversion rates from opt-ins to booked appointments is low. Okay, you might be building your email list with an ebook or something like this or a video sales letter. But how many of those people are actually booking a call? And how long does it take for those people to book an appointment with you? Right? It's getting lower. Right? The time it takes for them to book an appointment is longer, and the amount of people that are actually booking calls is low. Right? And there's reasons for this, which I'm going to explain to you in a minute. Okay, the quality of prospects is worse as well because these people don't understand the value that you're offering to them. Okay, they haven't been warmed up enough. They don't have intent. So the quality of those prospects is bad. Right? They're not qualified half the time, or it's not the right decision maker. And this often comes because you're advertising in the wrong places. Okay, if you've ever advertised, you've probably already experienced this yourself. And so when those people get on a call, you're finding that you have to convince them to buy. Right? This is a bad position to be in. When someone books a call, they should have been able to make a decision that they need to go with you or that they want to go with you over anyone else. If they're just still doing research and they book a call with you and they're not ready to buy, then there's something missing in your sales process. Attention is low. It's lower now than it ever has been before. Okay, some people say like fish have like an 8-second attention span and we've got like a 6-second attention span or something ridiculous like this. Okay, so because attention is low, it makes it even harder for you to explain the value of complex products and services in text or a picture or in an email. Okay, and the sales cycles are getting longer for this reason because attention spans are low. There's a lot of competition out there in the market. People are skeptical. Nobody trusts anyone these days. Okay, so this is why you have to build an audience that you can monetize. Right, this is the goal here. Right, because people buy differently. The way that they buy is that they start from being unaware. They've never heard of you before, but they're looking for a solution to their problems. And the first thing that they're going to do is be Googling something or whatever, right? They're going to see if they can solve it themselves. So they're unaware. If you make them aware from an outbound message or an email or something like that, the chances of you, if you send like 500 emails in a week or in a day, the chances of you hitting someone that is experiencing a problem right now that you can fix is very low because you're just kind of shotgun approach, right? So they have to be aware of you and the solution. Then they have to be educated on why your solution is the best because there's always alternative products and services out there. Okay, they then need to have some kind of trust of you, right? Yeah, you might have a really good solution or a service delivery method or something like that, a mechanism, but can I trust that you can actually deliver this? And how can you demonstrate this? How can you build that trust, right? And so once they've trusted you, they're educated, that's when they love you. They love your product. They love your service. They love your mechanism. And so then they buy, okay? Because they've already made up their minds. You haven't had to convince them. They've made up their minds throughout this journey in order to go with you over anyone else, okay? And it all comes from building an audience. You would have experienced this yourself, and I don't doubt 99% of people watching this has never purchased a high-ticket product, $2,000, $5,000, $10,000, without doing deep independent research. Right? No one does it. No one buys high-ticket products and services without doing research. This is why the sales cycles are so long. Okay, particularly if you're in IT and you're selling like $100,000 project or something like that. There's multiple decision makers. They've all got to be on board. All right, and so in order to move someone from total stranger to customer, you need to have sales assets in place that guide them into making that decision. Right? You're not going to do it just by having messages sent to people in the DMs or just by sending a few emails, right, or a PDF. Okay, because anyone can do this. Right? Anyone can say that they can do something. Right? So how can you create content that shows up in all the right places so that your future customers decide to buy from you before they ever engage? Okay, and this is really the problem with everything I've just mentioned. It's content. You don't have enough content out there in the market to guide people into being educated, trusting you, loving your mechanism, understanding how you deliver it, understanding why you're the best or the best alternative to what they're looking for or searching for. Okay, it can be short form content, right? It can be long form content. The goal is to build an audience. This is the only way that you are going to be able to stop paying for ads or stop investing more money into a sales team. It's the only way for you to get people to go along this journey. Okay, so here's some proof that you need to start building audience, and I've specifically got some examples from YouTube that are related to tech. Okay, because I speak to a lot of people in tech, and they think that this doesn't work for them. My target audience is on YouTube or whatever. If you're trying to sell to the CEO of a multi-million-dollar company and they've got 200 staff, you don't always have to just attract the CEO. Sometimes you need to have 30 or 40 people within the business on board so that they start talking about your business. You need to start generating demand. This is what a lot of businesses are failing to understand. Okay, so Lawrence Services is a big one. This is an MSP. Okay, they get almost 1 million views a month just from posting YouTube videos that are searchable, and because they've built an audience, they've built a network, 260,000 subscribers. Do you think they have 260,000 CEOs? No. They've got IT professionals. They've got people working in IT in all different roles. They've got people that are interested in it, students that are coming up and getting jobs in different businesses. Okay, I don't dare say there's probably other types of demographics in there as well. But the fact is that they're getting so much reach. They're getting so many views every month just from video content. You're never going to be able to send this many messages to people. You're never going to be able to reach this many people with an outbound sales team or by sending emails. The only way that you can get this reach is from video content. Okay, Simply Cyber, 75,000 views per month. Okay, only 42,000 subscribers, but still, you're never going to reach 75,000 people with your outbound prospecting. You might be able to do it with ads. But I can tell you this much: it costs a lot of money to hit 75,000 people a month. And these 75,000 views are actually keen to watch this video. All right, you might be able to hit 75 people with an ad that have no interest in what you're offering. All right, Tech Lead. A lot of people have heard of this guy, almost 2 million subscribers here. His audience is so big, right? And they're so in love with this guy. Like they're his biggest fans. Now, when he launches a new product or a service, he makes money overnight. He doesn't have to DM anyone. Okay, he doesn't have to send emails. He just launches it to his audience and he makes cash. Right, 1.2 million views a month. Okay, it's actually not far off Lawrence Systems considering the size of the subscribers. Okay, and now you might be thinking, well, these guys are all recording video content. I don't have the time to create my own video content. Satonic is a faceless YouTube channel. It talks about cybersecurity. All their videos are based on cybersecurity, like news, trends, topics, whatever you can think of. Right, it's mostly an entertainment channel. But it's all faceless. There's no one on camera. They're getting almost 1 million views a month. Okay, and no one has to be on camera or even show their face to do it. And through this channel, they're able to make money because they are affiliated with other organizations, other businesses, other products, other services. And I don't dare say if Satonic release a product or a service of their own, they'd be able to make cash. Specifically, if they created something that was specific to the audience, something that their general audience would want, right? Okay, and there's so many more examples of this. You've got IT career questions, free code camp, MacMo, Simply Learn, CBT nuggets. Station X is another one. They don't even really have a YouTube channel that's popular. They just leverage other people's YouTube channels in order to make sales from affiliate marketing. So people just sponsor. They pretty much just sponsor for free other people's channels, and the other people with big followings can make money just by using a special link that people used to go and buy the education and the training from Station X. Right? All of these companies sell a product or a service. It can be low ticket, high ticket. Okay, so you need to ask yourself this question. Right now, if your entire strategy relies on outbound prospecting and paid ads, what is the one thing that's going to enable you to stop doing those things for good and still make money? Right? If you stop doing these things right now without an audience, like, you wouldn't be able to sleep at night. If you just like fired your whole sales team, like your whole outbound team, and you stop running ads, where are the leads and the sales going to come from? Everything's going to dry up overnight. So this is the thing. You might be thinking, well, I'm doing fine with ads. What happens if you get banned? Right? What happens if one of these platforms ban you and then the other ones catch on and they ban you for the same thing, and now you can't advertise anymore? You can't advertise your products and services. You can't advertise your jobs. Okay? And this happens all the time. Speak to marketing agency owners who deal with 10, 20, 30, 40 clients a month. It happens all the time. People's whole accounts get banned. They have to buy new Facebook accounts, right? Or they have to move to a different acquisition channel to run paid ads, right? If you're familiar with networking, when you create a network between, one place to another, right, a pipeline, you always build in redundancy. Okay, so if you don't have any redundancy in your sales process, you're going to be screwed. Okay, and the only way for you to create that redundancy is to have an audience that you can monetize, and not just an audience on one channel like YouTube, an audience across social media. Okay, it's the only way for you to grow your business and make sure that it's around in the next 5 to 10 years, by building an audience. Okay, it's the only way. You have to build an audience. This is what big influencers are doing. This is the reason why they're an influencer, because they have an audience. They can charge to promote products and services. Okay, for a post or for a video, they can create their own product or service and suddenly make cash overnight. If you're a business, right, you're actually providing some kind of value into the market. I'm not saying influencers don't, but the majority of them don't. There is a few that do some good, right? But you're an actual business providing some value out there into the market. If you can't make cash straight away with the amount of value that you're offering these businesses, right, or the people that you're selling to, even if it's B2C, right, then there's something wrong here. Okay, because you're actually doing something good for the planet. Like, you're actually like leaving an impact here. And yet influencers and big creators are able to do this, and they're not doing as much as you in terms of leaving impact. Right? Some of them are impacting people in the worst ways possible. Right? So you have to build an audience, so you can deleverage yourself from outbound prospecting and paid ads. I'm not saying that you have to stop doing these things, but if something goes wrong, your leads and sales are going to dry up overnight. Okay, and this is really important. Okay, because a lot of these acquisition channels are underperforming. Like I said, if you post a video on LinkedIn and you have a network of 5,000 people, I doubt 100 people are going to even see that video. I doubt you get 100 impressions. If you post a picture, sometimes you might get something, sometimes you might get nothing. But most of the time, let's say you have a network of 5,000 people, you're going to get like 100, 200 impressions out of 5,000 people. Like, that's literally nothing. And that's only because you have the network. That's only because you've actually got people that you friend requested or connected with. There's no organic reach with a channel like LinkedIn. So the only way for you to contact people there is from outbound prospecting. And it's competitive because everyone is doing this, because everyone is struggling to get reach. Right? It's crazy. And this is going to happen on a lot of other channels if you don't start building an audience. Okay? Outbound prospecting would be like cold calling. If you get cold called today, most of the time you just hang up, you don't answer the call, you don't have any interest. Most of the time it's someone from overseas, right? The moment you get on that call, you want to put it down, you're not interested. And it's the same with outbound prospecting, like cold DMs. I'm the same. I get 10 to 20 people message me across platforms every single day. Hey, do you want appointment setters? Hey, could we get you 10 to 20 appointments per month? Hey, this, that. How do I know any of these people can deliver on what they're telling me? And why do I even want to do the research on it? Because everyone's just pitching me something, right? I don't dare say you're probably in the same position as me. It's like cold calling. And if you are outbound prospecting, if you haven't seen a decline in the amount of positive responses, okay, then you must be doing something right, because this is happening to a lot of people. It used to be good maybe 2 or 3 years ago, prospecting on LinkedIn, Facebook, etc. Not so much anymore. There's not enough trust. People want to see things before they engage with you. Okay, the algorithms are limiting your reach in terms of content. Okay, in terms of running ads, like, if things change all the time. iOS 14 targeting options, there's always issues. Right, you can't rely on just one. So if you're only doing one, right, and something happens, your whole acquisition channel is going to change. Right, everything's going to deteriorate from there. And so nobody buys high ticket products without doing research as well. 85% of the buyer journey is done without engaging with you or anyone in your team. When I want to buy something, I don't speak to anyone until I'm more or less convinced. Maybe I'd nail down what I want to do between two different companies, two different products, and then I'll book a call, and then I'll decide based on who I speak to on that call. Like if they've got a good strategy or a good product, or if it's suited for my specific situation. You're probably the same. Okay, you're not going to just like, someone's not going to send you a link for $5,000 on Facebook Messenger, and you're not just going to buy from them without knowing more about them and their business. Like it's just not going to happen. If you are, then you're a rare person. Okay, it doesn't happen. So what makes you think that it's going to happen with you, right? What makes you think someone's going to invest the time to book an appointment with you if they haven't seen anything or heard anything about you and your business that demonstrates that you can deliver on what you're offering, can deliver on what you're promising? Like actually know what you're talking about, are an authority. Why would they go for you if it's the same price versus someone else who is clearly established as an authority, who has an audience? I'm far more likely to buy something from someone who has an audience of raving fans, right? Even if it's a little bit more expensive compared to someone else who has no audience and is offering the